So, back for another Funconventional, and this time we are going to be looking at Buzzwole, a very overlooked Pokemon at the moment, but it definitely has some nice things going for it in VGC21. It completely walls Single Strike Urshifu, which is a huge threat, and doesn't really have too many proper walls, but Buzzwole is one of them. Because it's got such high defenses and it walls both of the stabs, it's going to be able to shrug off the moves really easily, respond back with a super effective hit, and will be able to deal with Urshifu quite nicely. It also does very well against Glastrier because it's got such high defenses as well, and it can hit super effectively against the Glastrier. It doesn't completely wall it because Ice is neutral, but it can still go toe-to-toe with it because it's got such high defenses, and can respond back with these super effective fighting moves. So it definitely has some nice things going for it. I think the Assault Vest is definitely the way to go with Buzzwole. It pretty much was back in 2017 when it was used the most as well. The most successful Buzzwole was a fight in EMZ, and that was also very good, but then the Assault Vest on that team was taken, and yeah, the fight in EMZ is no longer available in VGC21. We've got Dynamax to make use of that, so Assault Vest it is, and it makes a lot of sense. It's the same logic that you have with all the Kartanas that have Assault Vest, with Duraludons that have Assault Vest. Because it's got such low base special defense, having the Assault Vest is going to make it super bulky, especially with its such high HP, such high defenses, and it's still going to be able to put on a lot of offensive pressure because its attack is so high. So with the Assault Vest, it actually ends up with some very nice stats, and it's got some nice buffs as well. It's got dual Wing Beat now. I didn't realise it had dual Wing Beat until I was looking through Buzzwole properly, but dual Wing Beat is going to be a very nice move for it to have because it will turn into Max Airstream. And it's a base 130 base power as well. It matches Bounce. Apparently Buzzwole gets Bounce as well. So I was looking at Bounce initially, then saw Dual Wing Beat. And Dual Wing Beat has the same base power as the max move, but can actually hit in one turn outside of the max. So Dual Wing Beat is going to be quite nice for addition for Buzzwole as well. Also means that Leech Life is going to be much more viable on Buzzwole than it was in previous formats, because you didn't really see the bug move too much on the VGC17 sets. I guess on some of the Assault Vest ones you would see Leech Life, but now that there's Max Flutterby available, that also increases the special defense, or not increases the special defense, but reduces the damage that you'll take on the special side that Buzzwole has such low special defense for with the Max Flutterby special attack drops. So that's some really nice synergy that Buzzwole's got going for it as well. And I've just rounded out the coverage. Close Combat is now available over Superpower, so you might as well have Close Combat over Superpower if you can, because the drop in special defense is much better for you than the drop in attack if you're wanting to sweep, especially with the Beast Boosts. And then Ice Punches to round out the coverage, just to be able to hit Landorus as well. But the problem with Buzzwole, it's got so many good moves that it wants to have. Like with the Assault Vest available, you've got your pick of a lot of moves. That's more than usual that I'd have as the viable moves for the Pokemon, and I really struggled to get the moveset for this one. Because the team I'm going to be using with the Buzzwole does have a Metagross which has weakness policy, I was very much considering Bulldoze on the Buzzwole as well, which again, you did see back in 2017 as well. You did see some Bulldoze Metagrosses, Bulldoze against the Metagrosses I should say instead, so that was definitely considered. Thunder Punch and Poison Jab are able to hit Finnies, which, you know, Poison Jab was ran quite a lot on Buzzwoles. In fact, it was always ran on Buzzwoles back in VGC17. But if you've got enough to do with Finnies, then you don't really need it as much, especially since you can go for Flutterbys to reduce the special attack, so you can shrug them off a bit better. And Dual Wing Beat hits them neutrally, so you know, that's probably good enough. Lunge is going to be if you want to sacrifice the healing. I'm not sure it's worth it. They're the same base power, Lunge and Leech Life, but healing, especially if you've got some Beast Boost going, especially with if you've got your bulk with the Assault Vest, Leech Life could clutch out some games, I think more than Lunge would. High Horsepower and Earthquake would be for the Max Quake boosts, kind of the same as Max Flutterby, but a little bit unnecessary considering you can Flutterby, you don't really need to Quake. And then Rock Slide would be just considered for something like Rotom Heat. But there are some really nice coverage moves on the Buzzwole. It'd be quite hard to pick the ones you'd want, but then if you've got your team of 6, then you'll be able to work it out a bit more easily. But I'm excited to run the Dual Wing Beat set, running the Max Airstream, because that is effectively the new toy that Buzzwole has available to it. And the EVs, they tried to balance being able to OHKO Dynamax Landorus with the Max Hailstorm when you are not intimidated. So if you've got a Beast Boost after you've been intimidated, or you just come in at neutral, try to survive a Specs Moonblast from Tapu Fini, so be 3-shot if you're in Dynamax. I managed to get that to 87% of the time that you'll be able to survive that, while still outspeeding an Adamant Tyranitar as well. So tried to balance the EVs, couldn't achieve everything, so I had to do some tweaking and some some balancing, some sacrifices of some of the calcs, but should be reasonably balanced, because the speed, you have to hit that exact stat. The rest of them are a little bit variable, but seem to come out all right, and I'm definitely looking forward to using it. Usually I'll try and get some other sets for Buzzwole, but really just use Assault Vest. It's by far the best item to use on Buzzwole. So this is going to be a bit of a short one because there's only one set that I'm going to be giving you, but really use Assault Vest. There's no point using anything else on Buzzwole. But that's going to be it for this one. And now that I've had some suggestions in the first Funconventional of this season, I can go back to doing the poll for the next Funconventional Pokemon. So the 3 Pokemon that are going to be considered for the next Funconventional are going to be Regidrago, Walrein, and Naganadel. So go into the comments and like the comments that I'm going to put into the comments. I'm going to put 3 different comments, one for Regidrago, one for Walrein, and one for Naganadel. Please like the Pokemon that you'd want to be featured on the next Funconventional, and also go into the comments and post the Pokemon that you want to be featured for the next, considered for the next poll, I should say. And go and like them as well, because I use the likes to be able to determine which Pokemon are more likely to go into the poll for the next one. So go into the comments, like the Pokemon you want for the next one, and put the comment for the Pokemon you want featured in the next poll as well.